Okay guys, so here is going to be, now that you have a visual diagram and you've also seen a video on YouTube on the proper form and techniques, also along with some of my instruction in the beginning of the class, we can now start the activity for the day. Today's goal of the activity is that you get practice throwing at a target, and then I'm also able to give you feedback on your form and maybe some techniques that you can fix or improve, or things also that you're doing well. So our activity today is going to be, we'll have our students take because again this is an activity that will be used for an distance learning, not an in-class activity. So each student should get a water bottle. Most houses have a water bottle at home. You should fill your water bottle up with about, I say 10%, 5% of water, just to give it a little bit of weight, so not anything knocks it over. It takes a little bit of weight to knock the water bottle over. It takes a water bottle and a pair of socks. So what you're going to want to do, take maybe a long pair of socks that you have, take the socks and, if they're like this, just roll them inside of the other one to create a ball, okay? However, the best way that you can form a ball with your socks, if you have small socks, you might want to use 2 pairs and put the 2 of them together and roll them in. And then you're standing 5 steps away from your target. About this far away from your target. Now, you're going to throw 10 throws at the target. What you want to do is record how many you hit out of 10 rate, okay? So, here we'll get started. So we're going to watch Tessa, our student, throw at the target, and we'll see how she does. So, yeah, stand right here. Take a few steps away from your target. Nice. Okay. Now, let's see how Tessa does.
To go?
Yeah.
Like step 4?
Oh, yeah. Nice. Good job. So then the only thing about this activity is then you will have to reset the bottle when you knock it over. Yeah, just go back to the same spot you started the last one. Okay, so 1 out of 2, because that one hit it on the way back, so that doesn't really count. She missed that one, so now 1 out of 3. Okay, see, it's harder than it looks. 1 out of 4.
It is harder.
Shooting for like a 50%, but you know, give it your best effort. Okay, 1 out of 5. See, this can actually be funny too, and have fun with this activity at home. Oh, missed again. 1 out of 6. Okay, so you're having a little bit of fun here. Good, there we go. 2 out of 7. Okay, making progress here. We need to hit the last 3. Oh, another miss. We got 2 out of 8 now. Good. Now we have 3 out of 9. Tessa has 1 more throw for her first round. Okay, good try. Okay, so now Tessa, let me give you a few pointers. So what I noticed from Tessa's throw was she was not starting with her side to the target. Tessa, I'll speak to you. She was standing here straight at it and throwing like this. Okay, so stand with the side facing the target. Another thing, Tessa, that she could work on was when she took the sock back behind her, she was only taking it here to her side and throwing here. Remember, we want an L shape. See the big L right here? Behind your head when you throw. Okay? So side here, look at your target, and throw a little softer. You were throwing it a little firm and a little short. Just throw behind, a nice slow throw from behind your head. Okay? So we'll give Tessa, we'll do 2 rounds of it to give her a chance to kind of work on a few things that maybe she was struggling with the first time. So, here we go. We'll give it another try, Tessa. Good. There we go. 1 out of 1. So, right here, focus 2. You can point at your target too if that helps you get it lined up. Perfect. Okay, a little off, a little high that time. Okay, we got 1 out of 2. I like the form now. We have much better form. Okay, we missed another one. 1 out of 3. It's okay. It looks better. Our form is better. In the long run, this will pay off. See, we have that. Okay, on the back, it's okay. 1 out of 4. If you see, though, her form is much better now. She's missing her target of miss. Good, I hit it. Okay, 1 out of 5. Her range of miss is much better than the last round, though. Okay, 1 out of 6. It's okay. Keep it going. One out of 7. We're getting close, though. It's getting close there. The form is there, though. Okay, a little more follow through. A little more follow through. 1 out of 8. You might have to re-roll your sock if it comes undone. Okay, it's coming on the backstop. 1 out of 9. We'll give it one more try here. Our participant is having fun here, as you can see. Okay, good try. 1 out of 10. So, there is definitely some places to improve on. Now, if you have more time at home, you can always do a few more chances at this. But, for the most part, Tessa did a good job. She was improving on her form. Now, when you improve on your form, it might throw off your abilities because you're now doing something different than what feels natural. But if Tessa can continue to hold these right forms with the L, with her shoulders to the side and following through on her throw, in the long run when we play sports at school, she will have an easier time throwing a baseball to her designated target. So, thank you, Tessa. Good job. So, what we're going to do now, so once our students have done our activity, they've warmed up, done the activity, we're going to do a small little formative / summative assessment. So kind of to gauge what her learning was through the activity today, from the cues, from the actual activity. And then this will help me kind of gauge my future lessons or when I teach this lesson again in the future. So we'll spend a little bit of time right now. She's going to work on an assessment. It's only 10 questions, and then we'll go from there. And then class will be over actually after that. So real quickly, we'll have everybody take our assessment. Okay, now that Tessa, or as my whole students have finished taking the assessment, now my job is to analyze the data from the results. So my questionnaire, my assessment was an 8-question assessment. Pretty general questions. I noticed that there were 2 of the questions that Tessa had answered incorrectly. So one of them was, which a lot of students probably will, they think, oh, I just throw with my right hand. Well, the question asks, what is the proper hand to throw with? Your dominant hand, your right hand, or your left hand? Okay, so Tessa had chosen her right hand, not reading all the questions, maybe all the answers, but the correct answer would have been throwing with your dominant hand. Another question that Tessa had trouble with was answering which sports use the overhand throw. So as discussed in class, she put down that lacrosse used the overhand throw, but that was not one of the sports discussed earlier in the class period. So how I would use these results, hopefully when I have a full class, I will have a bigger pool to use, but since I only have one student, I can make sure that when I do this lesson, let's say maybe next year for another class, that I will focus on explaining the purpose of the overhand throw and which sports are used that use the overhand throw. I will also emphasize that just because you are right-handed, and most people are, that doesn't mean that's the proper hand to throw with. The important part is, and for lefties out there, is that you just want to make sure that you are throwing with your dominant hand. And again, if people have struggled with this, it's whichever hand that you normally write with in school. That would be the hand that you would use to throw. So I felt like it was a pretty successful distance learning activity. We went by a California standard. We also had learning goals throughout it. And we were able to use our assessment data to plan future lessons. I feel comfortable that Tessa was introduced to the topic of overhand throw and the proper techniques, and then she will be hopefully more likely to in the future to feel confident with her abilities to use the overhand throw. I want to thank everybody for participating in today's distance learning activity, our participant Tessa, also for the people who are viewing this, and I hope that this proves to be a good distance learning lesson plan. Thank you guys for watching, and go Lancers!